Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video, and today we're going to take in a look at night 2 of WrestleMania 41. Just an overview of each match, give you thoughts and opinions along the way, and a score for each match. We're not going to go blah blah blah, even though yesterday's video did go probably a little longer than I thought it would. So night 1 finished on a high for me. The event itself was a little lackluster, a little up and down all the way through, some really quick matches that didn't quite make sense, but overall it was a very average night 1 of WrestleMania. I think I gave it a 3.5 yesterday. The main event really picked up and helped for that. If it wasn't for that main event, it would have been a very, very forgettable night 1. So after the events of the main event, I was looking forward to seeing what we were going to get for night 2. Night 2 kicked off with the Women's Championship. We had the Heavyweight Championship the day before. So the Women's Championship with Io Sky, champion, coming in against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley in a 3-way fight. This had been brewing for a while. I was kind of hoping we'd just get a one-on-one match, because once it got brought out that it was going to be a 3-way match, I was just thinking, oh, they're just feeding Io Sky to someone else here. You've got two big beefy women in Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, and Io, she's athletic, she's in good shape, but when she's stood next to them other guys, it's sort of just like, oh, actually, there's a bit of difference here. We've got some cool intros. The one thing that I've not liked this year is the champion sometimes coming out first. And for me, it should, even if in the stature of things, they're not the big character, they should always come out last. They're the defending champion. They should have the last ones to come into the ring. So Io came into the ring, then we had Bianca, and then a bit of a pause before we got Rhea Ripley with her intro wearing like a Batman metal Joker mask and playing up to that Joker theme with a red lipstick and awful nose ring. Women, why do you have bull rings? It's not an attractive look at all. So we got a big intro for that, and then we got the intros for the women. I don't like this announcer woman at all. She's imitating Samantha, who I didn't like either. The growly, everything's big, everything's over the top. When it's like that for every single intro, every single match, every single SmackDown at Raw, nothing feels big. If that's the intro for everyone, nothing feels like a big occasion. And I don't like a growly, shouty over the top. It doesn't do it for me. But the match itself was really fun. Like I said yesterday, I'm not hugely fan of 3-way, 4-way matches. I don't mind tag teams or tornado tags, because you've got people who've got connectivity and work well together, but 3-ways don't really work for me, because there's always a point where one of the people get knocked down, so you can have a 2-on-2 fight and the other person's legitimate knocked down for a long enough time that they probably should have got pinned and the match being over. But Rhea, bless her soul, was tossed about loads, used as a battering ram at times. There was a point where Rhea and Bianca on the outside swung her into the LED signs outside. She was tossed around. Like, it genuinely looked like a massive beatdown for Io, and I was just like, this is not how I wanted this to go. I kind of thought in my mind, Io's just going to get fed to the wolves here, and probably Rhea gets it back because she's the bigger crowd pleaser. But then again, Bianca Belair's been on a bit of a roll in WrestleMania, so it could go to her. She's sort of out of the storyline picture with Naomi and Jade at this moment, so it's like, I just thought it's going to go not in Io's favour. So there were a lot of back and forth. It was kind of a big hitting match, kind of a brutal match. No blood, nothing bad happening, but kind of a bit of a slobber knocker. More sort of Japanese style women's match. Like the WWE Western style of women's wrestling, I'm not entirely fond of. I do like a good Stardom match, and I do think the Japanese girls go at it and really don't give a shit and go for it. But thankfully, in the end, we got Io Sky coming in with a beautiful moonsault over the moonsault, hitting Bianca as she was pinning Rhea to take her out. So Io got her win completely. Like, I was just like so surprised by this. So we're like, okay, I'm glad to be proved wrong. A really hard hitting, fun match to start the night off. And it went, I've got my notes here saying 15 minutes, which is, compared to yesterday's, one of the longer matches. So it's like, okay, we're hitting out strong to start with. Like, this is a solid 4-star match. Like, go and watch it. It's fun. There's some really good, fun spots in it, and you know, Io's probably a bit battered and bruised, but I guess it's worth it in the end when she's still the reigning champion. Next up, we got Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest for a street fight. It was like a Las Vegas, Sin City street fight or something like that. And I was hoping this might be one of the times where we might get to see a little bit of blood, because you know, for me, a street fight's like an old school hardcore match. You know, you get weapons, you get things, and I was kind of hoping it'd be that kind of hardcore street fight, but it wasn't. It was a lot of things outside of the ring. Both hard-hitting guys. Drew came in dressed somewhat like the Doom guy from Doom, and as soon as he tried to get into the ring and his shoulder pads hit the thing, he seemed really pissed off and couldn't wait to get his costume off. I don't think this was his idea to dress like this, and he threw that shit on the floor like he could not care about it. Damian Priest came to the ring with not the full group of Slayer, but I think it was the main guitarist of Slayer, which was really cool. It's a shame that Drew didn't get like a big intro with like bagpipe band walking him in or anything like that, but Damian Priest had him. There was a really long awkward pause where the guy's still doing his intro and the camera's on Damian Priest, who just kept looking and going, yeah, and he were like, this is awkwardly going on a little too long now. Do you want to cut it and get the match started? But it was a fun, good street fight. There was a fun moment on the outside where Drew took Damian down and then ran over to it. Looked like a fan in the crowd, but I think the commentator said it was his brother. Got his phone off him, laid down next to Damian, took a picture, instantly tweeted it out. So he had this all set up. All he needed to do was like take the picture and send it out, and that was online within seconds. So that was fun. Drew's really fun on social media. Like he's been great in the ring for ages, but over the past year with the sort of the CM Punk rivalry he had and just his online stuff that he's doing, like his promo skills are just so fun. You can't help but not like the guy. But it was a good match overall. Drew McIntyre won in the end, which I think he should have. Like I said yesterday, he should be up there going for the championships. Damian did have it, but he never really felt to me like a heavyweight champ. You know, it just felt like they just gave it to him because his faction were doing well, which, you know, they're around, but probably should have gone by now. So that was a good, fun match. I've got that down at 15 minutes again. So already we're coming in with two long, hard-hitting matches to kick off the night. That one I'm going to give 3 stars, just because I probably wanted a bit more destruction, maybe a bit of blood, maybe a bit more hard-hitting. It just felt like your average no contest match that spends most of its time on the outside. You know, Drew hit him with the stairs and a few things, but it wasn't as hard hitting as I thought. I thought we might get one somewhat bloody match, but I don't know if the rules on Netflix are quite there yet with blood. But yeah, I kind of expected just a little bit more destruction and stuff going on, but maybe if it was later in the evening we might have got more. Next up, we had the 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship. We had champion Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Penta. This was a bit of a cluster match for me. Like I said, I don't like 3-way matches, so I certainly don't really like 4-way, because you've always got 2 people telling a story while the other 2 are doing little things that aren't on camera, or you get 3 of them and one guy's laid out. There were some good spots in there. It wasn't necessarily a great match overall. There were, you know, a few good moments here and there, but it wasn't anything that burnt the house down. I do like Braun. I don't know if we're going to be seeing where he goes next, because in the end, Dominic Mysterio won by a really good moonsault, like a really far moonsault. Not moonsault, frog splash, sorry, in the style of his dad. Really good moonsault and won, like a surprise win. I wasn't quite sure where this was going to go. When it's a 4-way one, that feels to me that the champion's probably going to lose in some way. But Braun is the bigger, beefier guy within that 4, so I was kind of thinking He might not lose it. The crowd's really behind him, and social media's behind him, and it's one of those that, people have been loving his spears recently. The one that he did last week, where he just off camera shot just flew in, took a guy out. It's like, he's good. Slightly leaning towards more of a Steiner look this time, and he did do a Steiner promo, the famous Steiner math promo from TNA with Scott. He did do that at one of the fan meets. So it looks like he might be slightly leaning into his legacy, because I think he wanted his own way at first, but I think now he's a bit more comfortable with it. I think he might be leaning more into the Steiner world, which is fine, because they were fun back in the day. So yes, Dom won, cheated his way to the victory, which, if he was going to win it, it probably was going to be that way. You won't see a clean win with Dom getting it. It would be, taking someone out at the last second and sort of not cheating his way, but like luck winning it. So we're going to see a lot of that. I don't know how long of a run he'll get with this, but I think everything will have to be some kind of a cheat. Like, he ended up pinning Finn Balor, so whether that means it's the end of their faction, it probably feels like it's about time to move on from that. Like, Dom and Liv can stay as whatever they're doing, but like Carlito, what the fuck does he do? He was there doing stuff, but what's the point of him? And maybe Finn, it's about time Finn does something else, because he kind of feels like he's lost his way for a few years. Yeah, he's had tag titles and other things, but it doesn't feel like he's been quite where he was, because he was the first Universal Champion, and it's like he's not really done much since. Injuries hasn't helped. Next up, we got Randy Orton versus a mystery opponent. I didn't know where this was going at all, because it could have been anyone. I kind of thought, are we maybe going to get the return of Brock? Is it about time we see him? We're going to get an old school guy coming back and doing something? Are we going to get Malachi Black? Or are we going to get Rusev, because they're no longer with AEW, and it's been teased for a while that they've probably wanted to go back, so we're going to get a surprise like that? And no, we get Drew Hendry out of nowhere. Like, okay, it makes complete sense. When his theme popped up, say his name, and he appears, it's like, Of course. One of the other things I thought might happen was Nick Aldis might come in. He's still in good shape. He was the longest running NWA champion. I think he had like a 2-year run at that. He's still in shape, and it wouldn't surprise me if we do see him in a ring at some point. I kind of thought that might have been what they might have done, but no, we got Drew Hendry coming in with the TNA title, called the TNA champion. So that relationship's still going strong, which is great. Surprised to see him. He definitely looked, when he was starting to walk down that ramp, like you could tell the adrenaline rush and emotions hit him, because he had to turn around at one point. I thought he's trying to like just not break down, because that is a massive moment. He's done a couple of WWE appearances, and usually like smaller ones like NXT, and made an impact there. So to come out to WrestleMania, it clearly shows that WWE are very much willing to not to use the AEW term of the forbidden door, but just be a bit more open to people. We saw him in the Royal Rumble. We saw Jordan Grace in the Royal Rumble, and she's a juggernaut. I can't wait to see her on the main title, on the main run. But yeah, it were a fun short match. I've got it down at 3 minutes. There wasn't much to it. There was a little bit of a back and forth here. He dodged an RKO at one point. He did a bit of a back slam to Randy Orton, and then for some reason decided to pose to camera, and then out of nowhere Randy hits him with a RKO, pins him 1, 2, 3. Goes down, says something like, you're on the big stage now, guy. Pulls him up, shows him off to the crowd. As Joe turns his back to him, the one thing you don't do is turn your back to Randy Orton. Slams him again with another RKO, and then just for good luck, Randy gives the Joe Hendry pose to the camera at the end, and it's like classic Randy Orton. It's like, I'm glad that they did something with him, because I think he said it was his 20th WrestleMania, so it would have been a shame if he were put on the pre-show, but this could have easily been cut. So it's a quick little throwaway match. Pretty dissimilar to yesterday's Lucha match. That was quite short. I think that was like 8 or 9 minutes. But yeah, to say we've come off a few big matches. We had the first 2 being 15 minutes, and the Intercontinental one I've got down at 10. So we had a bit of a breather. Then we moved on to AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, and fuck that match. I didn't watch it. Fuck Logan Paul. Couldn't give a shit about the guy. I don't watch wrestling live because it's on late, so I watch it the day after. Any Logan Paul segment, I skip. I don't care how athletic the guy is. I don't care how much of a natural character and natural heel. He's a natural heel because the guy's a cunt. He's an actual real life cunt. So unfortunate that AJ Styles had to go through this. I don't know the results. I'm hoping AJ won, but it wouldn't surprise me if Logan Paul went over in some way. So that match, fuck it, let's move on. I don't know how long it went. I just skipped ahead. So it could have been 10 minutes, could have been 40 minutes. So who gives a fuck? Next up, we had the Women's Tag Team Championships of Liv and Raquel. I think Raquel. Coming out, Liv looking mighty fine in tight red leather, which, that for me, after skipping a match to get the awful taste of Logan Paul out of my mouth, even though I didn't see the cunt, we get Liv with that sweet little booty and tight red. He was like, that'll do. Taking on Layla Valkyrie, who I think's really fun. She's a little tiny for me. Like, there's a lot of tiny women in WWE, but she's one of the smaller ones that's like, oof. She could get thrown about quite a lot, but she seems like she's quite really athletic, and I like her character. She always seems bright and bubbly, sort of like AJ Lee used to be, but not with an emo twist to her. She's kind of got that bright, fun look, who, when the moment calls for it, she can switch that fun side off and really go for it. So she had a mystery partner. I think she was supposed to have Bayley. I think so. I remember Bayley on some posters, so it could be that. So she had a surprise partner. Again, I didn't know where this would go. Could have been Jordan Grace coming out. The women's, locker room is massive these days. It could have been anyone. But no, we get the return of Becky Lynch. Yesterday, when talking about Charlotte and how maybe the division's moved on and moved past her and moved ahead and she might not be needed anymore, I mentioned Becky in that, saying it might be the same if Becky returns, because I've been under the illusion that she's out of contract, she's not signed, she took that time off, she's been a mum, recovering, doing CrossFit, enjoying time with a kid and Seth. So I didn't know if we'd ever see her. She came back, the crowd went mental for that, which they would, because it's been over a year? It's been at least a year, maybe more, since we've seen her. The crowd went wild. Great to see her back. Layla looked, because the camera panned back down to her, and she had the biggest smile on her face. She looked more emotional than Becky Lynch did. She came out with the man look in her face. She didn't look like, any emotion or, too overly emotional. She was smiling, but then she focused in. Whereas Layla looked like she was on the verge of tears. She was so happy. So there is a thing between them of like mentor, junior, and I think they're both from Ireland, but I don't know if they're both from the same place. But it's one of those that are like, this might be like a childhood dream to tag with Becky. So we had an okay match with them. Becky was on the outside for a lot. Liv was like scared to go after Becky. I think the commentator said the last time that Becky fought was against Liv, or Liv caused her injury. I don't know if she caused it, story wise. So I think there's history there. I cannot remember off the top of my head. Like, it's been a year, and I'm in and out of wrestling these days. I'm mostly the big events, the big four events that we usually get, and Raw and SmackDown I'll usually keep an eye on but not watch fully. I'm trying to get back into it now. It's on Netflix. Before that, it was a bit of a pain to try to find decent streams on the high seas, as you might say. So I'm trying to get back more into it these days, but I've always been on the fringe, kept up with it, but not, in depth. I'm trying to get more back into it these days. So I'm not quite sure what their whole angle was, but yeah, Liv was in and out of the ring a lot. Used Raquel quite a lot for the power, even though she's not in amazing shape. Michael Cole were coming in his pants every time she did something about talking about her strength, and I'm like, she's picking up like a tiny girl. It's like I play wrestle with my 4-year-old and 7-year-old niece. It's like me picking them up. It's not really like she's picking Nia Jax up or someone really impressive, but Hey, that's Michael Cole. He's always been slightly over the top. But it was an okay back and forth match. In the end, Layla Valkyrie and Becky Lynch won. So Becky's first night back within a year. Tag team champ. That means Layla Valkyrie is a double champ. She's the Intercontinental champ. So it's cool that we've got someone with 2 belts. I kind of like the 2 belt look. Not the Mercedes Moné where she's got 4 belts and she doesn't deserve a single one of them kind of look. But 2 belts sometimes looks good. So I don't know where we're going to see Becky go next. Maybe Becky wants 2 belts back. I don't know. But great to see her back. Which led us into... Oh, I'll give you that a... It was a solid match. Solid match. I'll give it 3 stars and an extra half star for Liv Morgan's attire. So 3.5 stars. So that was fine. Now we're at the main event. After yesterday's... Oh, the main event of Cody and John Cena, if you're unaware of what was going on. After the events of yesterday and how that turned out, I was really intrigued to see where this would go. Would Seth and Paul Heyman play a part in this? How The Rock would come into this? How this storyline that's been building over the past few months would sort of come to a pinnacle at WrestleMania. We know John's on his retirement tour, but I don't think WrestleMania was his last event. They kept talking about it might be his last, he might retire as champion, but I don't think that means if he won tonight, he would be retiring tonight like WrestleMania's last event. I'm not quite sure. Excuse me. So, we had a bit of a promo for Cena coming out, showing his history, where he's been, what he's done, a little bit with Cody, and then Cena's music hits. The Titantrons are all black. The lighting isn't doing anything. All it says on screen in your most basic font is John Cena. The runway that's been lit up was black. It just said John Cena. There was nothing. I kind of liked what he's been doing with his promos where he's basically said, you know, people have been wanting him to turn heel. Now he's finally heel. Is he going to go back to the Doctor of Thugonomics intro? Is he going to bring his chains and basketball shirts out? And he's like, no. He probably would want to do that, but he's like, you guys deserve nothing. You're not getting anything. And it follows into this match where the whole intro is, you're getting nothing. You're not even getting my usual Titatron. You're getting nothing. I'm surprised that music played, but I guess because it's such a long runway, they needed to do something. He couldn't just come out to booze and spend the 5 minutes walking down to the ring. You could probably get away with that with a smaller stadium for like a smaller pay-per-view or your normal Raw or SmackDown. But yeah, just nothing. Walks to the ring, black t-shirt, jorts, black shoes, just a mean mug on his face. Cody came out with a mask, and well, he had a bit of a cool intro with some stunt bikes. I kind of thought, what's this going for here? This is a bit of a weird intro. The music started different. I thought, oh, is he getting some new music, or is it going to be a remix of his normal song? He came out with his Power Ranger mask on. Looked kind of cool, attire-wise. Didn't look much different from normal Cody. I kind of thought he might have done something extravagant and over the top for WrestleMania. The colours were a little bit more darker and muted compared to normal. With his bright blue, it was more of a royal blue, and his reds were a bit more of a deeper red, so I don't know if that's sort of indicating a more of a serious Cody and not as bright and colourful. But yeah, the match itself was a weird one. I've got it down here as running 20 minutes. It was a strange match. For the first part of it, Cena looked like he didn't want to do anything. As soon as Cody came towards him, he'd get out of the ring, walk around, crowd lapping it up, booing him. And anytime it looked like Cody was almost going to get some momentum, he'd slow it completely down. It were a really strange match. There were a lot of back and forth, but there were no like long chains of things, because they'd just slow it down, they'd just stop, they'd break, they'd walk around, they'd just look at each other, and they were like, oh, okay, what is this? In my mind, I'm like, at some point, something has to happen with The Rock's music hits, or Seth comes out of the crowd, Paul comes down and just walks around the ring and sort of intimidates Cody, because it's like, well, if Paul's here, that means Seth might be here, that means The Rock might be here, it might mean anyone's here. So I was waiting for something to happen, because I thought, it can't just move and plod at this sort of pace all night, and it kind of did. Some music did hit, and I kind of thought, okay, shit's gonna pick up now. Out walks drug addict Travis Scott, looking stoned out of his mind like he always does, and it's like, all right, okay, he's here with his fake hardcore championship that looks like the new belt but meant to look hardcore. They kept plugging all night, Travis Scott's collaboration with Mick Foley, go get it, and I'm like, what? No cunt's gonna buy that. No one wants his shit. They shouldn't be lining his pockets with anything. I've not understood the association with the big Travis Scott thing with this angle. I know he's done a song for WrestleMania, and it's one of the worst songs I've ever heard. It's just meow, 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 meow. That's all you hear in the background between matches when Cole and everyone's setting the next thing up. All you hear in the background is meow, 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 like a little wasp going off. It's like, I really want wrestling music to get back to its rock roots, something hard. Get rid of this R&B wank shite. Get it out. It's fucking awful. He came down, and I kind of thought, well, okay, if he's here, Rock's next, Seth's next, Paul's next. Something has to happen next. It can't just be this skinny, off his face guy. And he came into the ring. A little bit of back and forth. Gave the championship to Cena to hit him. Cody ended up giving him the crossroads, which he took not that well. I kind of worked like, just get his neck a little harder, Cody, and lay it in, crack his neck, put him in a wheelchair, send him on his way, never to be seen again. Goodbye, good riddance. But no, he hung around. And then Cena came in to hit Cody with the title, swapped it around, and then it looked like Cody was gonna hit him with the championship, but then Cena started Eddie Guerrero style begging him, like, you don't want to do this, don't hit me. Cody looked like he's teeing it up, like, is he going to finally do it? Because Cena said, one day you're going to have to break your own rules, which I think might be hinting at Cody, turning heel himself or something. But he's like, you might have to do this yourself, and I kind of thought, well, The Rock's not come out yet, and time's ticking away. I'm waiting for something to happen. So I thought, well, Cody's looking like he's going to tee up to hit Cena with the title. Is someone going to surprise come out of under the ring? Seth going to come out and do something? No, he just throws the belt down. Cena kicks him in the balls. The ref's been out for a while at this point. He got at one point he got knocked into the corner, and I think by Cody, or Cody hit him into the corner. And the ref's been out and about for a while. Your usual WWE ref gets slightly glazed and is knocked unconscious for 15 minutes while, something happens. Cena did take the ring buckle off and throw Cody into it twice and hit him and almost get there with the ref, but this is before Travis came out. Cena kicked him in the balls, gave him an FU. I think he gave him about 4 or maybe 5 in the night and won. And it's kind of like, oh, okay, he won. I was kind of hoping he would, to break that Ric Flair streak, so he's a 17-time champion now. So I thought, okay, well, maybe this is when the rest of the guys come out or do something. Because it's like, well, they've been playing this angle up. He's finally turned heel. He sold his soul to The Rock. Come on, Dwayne, where are you? What's going on? Where are you? He's nowhere to be seen. He didn't come out. He barely celebrated. He flung the title up and showed it off to the crowd, but he wasn't doing anything over the top. Druggy Travis was still in there for some reason. You could see he lost his glasses by that point. You could see how pink his eyes were because he's high as shit, as always, degenerate. And it's just sort of like, okay, so that's it. And then he were walking up the ramp with the title attached to his back. Just walking up the ramp, not celebrating, not do anything, and it's like, that's it? That's how it ends? It's like, oh, okay. So I've got it down at 20 minutes, and it's like, that's how it ends. It felt like when I were at the cinemas, a midnight showing for Infinity War, and Thanos did his snap, and everyone started disappearing, and then the credits ran with no music, and you're going out of the cinemas like, Is that how it ended? Is that it? is that it? We've got to wait a year now to see how it happens. It's like, oh, that's it's a strange one because it's anticlimactic because The Rock's not there. You know, Seth's not there. We don't know if Seth. You know, I'm going by my mind map of how yesterday's events played out. So we don't know if Seth's even with them or if it's just going to be him and Paul. But yeah, no Rock. I don't know if he's away filming, but it's like it's one night. You can turn up, do some stuff. You don't have to get physical. Jump on your plane and go back and do your filming tomorrow. So it's a weird one that Rock's not there. He's not been there for a while. Cena's been doing his promo work and doing stuff, but there's been nothing with them since that first interaction with both of them coming out and saying why they're doing what they're doing. Cena's mentioned, you know, he's not giving anything to the fans. He's out there to, like, you know, basically just do what he wants and give as little as possible. And this match kind of felt like that, with the back and forth and the slow movement and plodding of it all. But the ending was like, okay, there's no Rock, there's no culmination. I don't know how long Cena's got left. My mind and hoping for this is Cena does go out as champion, and that retires this version of the belt, and then we get back a modern winged eagle, the one that Cody's been talking about a long time. If you look at all the men's championships at the moment, the Intercontinental went back to more of a classic look. It's got a bit of a blue in it now, so it looks a bit more of a classic look. The USA title still looks good. You've got the two tag team championships, which look like they emulate past championships. You've got the World Heavyweight Championship, which looks like it sort of emulates the big gold, but more of a modernised, updated version. This would be the perfect time to bring back the Winged Eagle look. Everyone loves it. Everyone's wanted it for years, whether it's the Winged Eagle look or the Attitude Era Big Eagle look. But bringing a belt back that, you know, it still has that lineage and look, I think that would be the perfect time. So, you know, Cena retires as champion, a new belt's brought back in, we get a new tournament, everyone going at it. Probably Cody wins again because it's his idea of bringing the Winged Eagle back, and Cody's now a two-time champ, so his story's even more certified that his legacy's always been there to be a champion, be the champion his dad could never make, and he's now a two-time champion. So that's how I could see that going out. But how it's going to play out from now till that potential is another thing. I don't know how long John Cena's back. We know he's not full-time, so it's like, is he just going to turn up at the next pay-per-view, whenever that is? Is he going to be around for SummerSlam? I don't know. You're going to have to let me know in the comments how long he's back for. But it was a weird ending, and it feels like a slight opposite of the day before. Whereas the day before had some ups and downs and ended on a high. Night 2 started on a high and ended on a low. I don't want to say a low because I want to see the potential of where this goes, but it's just a very weird ending for a WrestleMania that usually is a big ending where, you know, someone's dream happens, like Eddie Guerrero or Chris Benoit winning it and you're getting all the confetti and everything, or Cody, you know, the 2-year dream of him, well, the dream of him coming back, but the 2 years of him trying to get there and win the title, and then the year after you get this weird, silent, somber ending. Is a weird one. So I don't want to say it ends on a downer, because it wasn't like it was a terrible match. It was a weird match. It wasn't a bad match because it was full of bad spots and the communication didn't work and it was just sloppy and weird. It was just weirdly paced. And if this story, by the end, we've seen it pays off, then it's like, okay, this, I can see why they did this. But if it doesn't quite pay off, then this WrestleMania is always going to look back at like some weird ending. Fuck Travis Scott. Get rid of him. He serves no purpose. Yeah, he's got a collab with some clothing. He was the song for WrestleMania. That's over. Fuck that guy off. Get rid of him. Don't need him. Where it's going to go from here with The Rock and Cena, we still don't know who that third man is. I'm thinking it might be Seth at this point. It still could potentially be Drew. We don't know. So, a weird one. I don't know how to score this. Yesterday I gave yesterday a 3. Actually, I haven't scored this match. Because it's so weird, I'm gonna go 2.5, just because it's the middle score. You know, I can't give it 3 because it didn't quite have some impactful moments that were like, ooh, okay. It was a weird ploddy one, so I'm gonna give that match 2.5 star. And the overall night, I'm probably gonna give. You know, the first 3 matches were great. Then it went a bit weird with Randy Orton, Logan Paul. That could have been a 5-star match. That Logan Paul and AJ Styles could have been a 5-star banger. I don't know. It's Logan Paul. Fuck that cunt. I'm not watching it. The four-way. No, we'd had the 4-way. The women's tag match was fine, so it was an okay lead-in. So I don't know how to rate this one. I might give it 3 stars again. Might give it 3 stars overall. So both nights are 3 stars. And it's a weird one. If you take the best matches of both nights and combine it, it would have been a great 4.5 star, 4-star pay-per-view. But because it's spread over 2 nights and you do get these weird filler matches, it's a strange one. I understand why they do it, because it's, you know, it's giving a bigger weekend to the crowd. The crowd that can't make it to one night can maybe make it to the other night. It gives more people more of an opportunity to watch WrestleMania. It gives more of the superstars a chance to get on WrestleMania and get that good once a year big boy bonus, and you know, more storylines to make it to WrestleMania. So I understand the businessy stuff behind it, but then when you just get 2 nights of okay stuff, and the end product being sort of, it's been okay overall with some standout matches and some not. It's like, is it worth it in the long run? I don't know. I'm still getting used to the 2-night thing. It's never really quite clicked with me, and there's always been one night that stands out more than the other. And I think for me, night 2 does stand out more, just because of the weird ending it had. If this weird ending does pay off with the Cena story, then it was all worth it. We'll have to see how that goes, because if it doesn't fully pay off, and it ends on a bit of a wet fart, and it's like, no, we waited 20 years for Cena to be like a true proper heel, and not really came of it, and it wasn't really worth it. It's like, well, we just wasted a WrestleMania as well on that. So it's like, no, okay, so I guess we'll see. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts below. My match of the night is definitely the 3-way match with Io Sky. 3-way with Io Sky. That'll be a highlight of the night for sure. So that's definitely my match of the night, and potentially probably that one and the main event for night 1. Those are both the main 2 matches that I'll take away of probably the highlights of the matches. So let me know below your favourite matches, what your predictions are for where things might go, whether it's with night 1 with Seth and Paul, and what's going to happen with Paul and Rock and Roman and CM Punk, and where the Cena story and the Rock story might go next. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Bye bye.